Hello, friends. My name's Dain Miller.
And my name is Now Spain, and we are your fuck buddies. And in latest news, Toronto City says jerk it. Maybe take a picture.
What?
Toronto government says jerk it. Maybe take a picture.
I don't know. What the hell are you talking? Also, is that a real thing that someone has been paid to say?
They released a safe sex during COVID guide, and they say your safest sex partner during the pandemic is yourself.
Yes.
And then they say to consider sexting, but they do say consensual sexting. So that's great. I just find it really funny that the government of Toronto...
They're not telling you to jerk off and take a picture of yourself jerking off.
Well, they say consensual sexting, virtual sex, video dating, or chat rooms. So,
right, but there's
what are you going to take a picture of? What are you going to take a picture of, Dain? What are you going to take a picture of?
And Toronto saying, hey, jerk off and take a picture of it.
Consider having live sex. Sexting or chat rooms. There you go.
Yes.
They're not saying jerk it and take a picture in those exact words, but they're saying jerk it and they're saying take a picture.
Yes. Okay.
It's actually pretty cool that they released like a guide, but it's also just kind of like funny to see. You know what I mean? Like it's strange seeing the government be like, "Hey, you should look into sexting and video dates."
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's a nice, funny situation where it's a good thing they're doing, but it's also weird to see it.
Yeah, and a 6-foot fist bump for mentioning consent.
Yeah, well, that's what I really appreciate. They said have consensual sexting, virtual sex, video dating, or chat rooms. So hell yeah,
that's pretty cool. With that being said, we're a dating and sex advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
In other words, we take questions from either listeners or online sources such as Reddit. Or we misrepresent the title of, government releases.
Yeah. Speaking of user-submitted questions and misrepresenting, do you have anything you want to talk about off the top, or do we want to just get right into it? Because let me tell you, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not in for the long haul here. It is very hot in this closet, and I'm probably going to die.
Yeah, we've decided to replicate the... Because you're probably missing the sweaty energy from two boys in one closet. We've decided to just, have it be summer and be sweaty separately. So you're getting that good sweaty energy. Don't worry.
Yeah, I did bring in a space heater here to account for your missing energy.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Did you pour beer on it just so you get the right smell?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's what everything in my apartment runs on at this point. It's just spilt beer.
That's fair. I did want to start off with some rival advice.
Okay.
Because, we got to keep in mind what our competitors are doing, right?
Yeah.
This might be a little lengthy, but it's worth it. All right.
Yep.
So this is how to be a high value man.
Okay.
Right. And there's a whole list. I won't read out anything aside from the bullet points unless it's important. Right.
Okay.
So 1, lengthen your response times. 2, dress better than her for no reason. You always want to be a notch or two higher. If you're meeting for a semi-formal event, dress fully formal. You always want her thinking, well, she's not as good in comparison to you. 3, delay introducing her.
Hold on. Is that what it actually says?
It literally says you want her wondering why she's looking not as good in comparison to you.
Okay.
3,
cool.
delay introducing her to your friends and family. 4, pull your emotions away. Has he lost interest? Did I do something wrong? Those are the thoughts you want injected into her mind. Yo-yo the hell out of her emotions. She'll be begging for sex. 5, get her to do things for you, particularly before sex. Tell her, hand me that laptop. Run to the store and get me some cigarettes. After she does you favors, bang her to orgasm. It's a reward. Teach her sex with you is a reward for doing favors. 6, when you get calls/texts, never tell her who they're from. 7, fill your social media up with you and girls. 8, when you're at her place, make yourself at home. Kick off your shoes. Put your feet on the coffee table. Help yourself to a drink. Leave the toilet seat up. Feed her dog too many treats until he likes you more than her. Act like it's your place, not hers. 9, be seen flirting with other girls. 10, keep your questions about her to a minimum. Make her work to please you. It should be something she craves for you to know about her. A real commodity. 11, occasionally be annoyed. She can always do better next time. 12. Occasionally talk about girls from your past. 13. Be unfazed by cockblocks. 14. Distract orbiters. 15. Realize not everyone needs to like you. 16. Change plans both abruptly and vaguely. Schedule a date. Morning of that date, text her change of plans. If she asks for details, ignore her. Let her wonder all day what's going on. High value men are in control of the situation and her emotions. Make her wait, make her wonder. A few hours before the date, send her a simple message. Meet here instead of here. Don't text again. She will be so excited. She'll show up in her highest heels and shortest dressed. And 17, and this is key, because there's nothing more sexy than what I'm about to compare women to.
I mean, I'm already rock hard, so...
Get that gerbil tearing up the wheel. Everything you do is a roller coaster of emotions. Push and pull, tease, compliment, text, ignore. Get your high-value self so infused in her thoughts she can't stop fantasizing about you. Get her mental gerbil tearing up that wheel with curiosity and wonder. That's how you get the 10s.
Well, guys, that's been our episode. Thank you very much for listening. I'm done. Just life in general. I'm just gonna...
Well, there's nothing hotter.
I wish I was a mental gerbil right now.
There's nothing hotter than describing, like, comparing women to, like, a useless small rodent.
That's not fair. Gerbils are cute.
Yeah, but they're useless small rodents. Is that not?
You don't know.
I don't know. What are they used for?
I don't know what
are they used for.
I'm sure they play some part in their natural ecosystem.
That's fair. I'm sorry, gerbils. All right. Do you have anything to say, or will I move on to my first question?
I've got nothing to fucking say, man.
All right. My boyfriend, 23-year-old male, likes to reward me, 33-year-old female, with sex whenever I do chores.
Christ.
And we have the answer already. He's a high-value male.
High value, yeah. Next.
Yeah, like, duh. Throwaway for obvious reasons. I met him 2 years ago in a bar crawl. Works as a security guard, going to grad school. I work in IT part-time. Moved together in a new apartment. I have a higher libido, so I usually initiate sex. However, lately, he has started to reward me with sex. For example, if it's his week on the dishes and he's tired, he'll offer to go down on me in exchange for doing the dishes. I get incredibly turned on when he does it, but I feel uncomfortable exchanging sex for housework. Just yesterday, he offered to finger me in exchange for taking out the trash for the week. I can't help but feel like it's wrong. Whenever I bring it up to my boyfriend, he laughs it off, says it's kind of like our little game. On one hand, I enjoy the thrill. Literally, trill. I assume they mean thrill. On the other hand, I can't help but feel wrong for exchanging sex for favors.
Let me just interject here. Maybe when he said fingering, he meant bust out a Yaz flute and just trill the hell out of that flute. Because that requires masterful fingering.
Maybe, oh shit, it wasn't about sex at all, it's just about music.
Yeah, he's like, all right, now sit down. Now listen to me fucking rock this flute.
No, you're right. It says rewards me with sax. No.
God damn you, I almost just fucking spit Coca-Cola all over my microphone. I don't know how I feel about this, because one, yes, using sex as a bargaining tool to, like, do things or to get things is problematic, but if you're into it and you both see it as a game and you have a higher libido and want more sex out of the or want more sexual pleasure out of the relationship, and this is a way that he's delivering on that, this might just be a creative solution to he doesn't want to do housework, you want more sex.
You see, the thing is, like, yes, the fact that she's, like, incredibly turns me on, that's great, you know? However, the fact that she still wants to go and post about it online means there is an issue here. And the thing is, it seems worrying that it's almost like he's extorting her higher libido to get out of housework, but making it seem okay because she still gets a positive out of it, when it's like,
yes,
that shouldn't be how your relationship goes. Like, if you have a healthy relationship, you're not playing off someone's, like, differing needs so that you can gain. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they should come up with a healthy system to deal with her higher libido, and that healthy system shouldn't involve, like, him not having to do housework, right? Like, that's so fucked up. Like, you shouldn't have to do all the housework just to be sexually satisfied.
That's a very good point. I did not think of it that way. Yeah, no, that's an excellent point. But
it is hard to think of that when it's like, if you're getting turned on by the game and all these things, it's like, and that's the thing. I think even she's being thrown for a loop by the fact that she's enjoying it because, like, as a fun game, sure, but if it became commonplace, I think she would realize too late probably that's an issue, and by then it would be like, oh, you enjoyed it all this time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, other than just sort of regulating it and being like, nope, sorry, tonight you're going like. But I like again, I don't know. It's tough because if I could get into doing dishes
Oh
by
man, I would love that.
doing sexual, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine I wouldn't also take that opportunity because let me tell you, I much prefer performing oral sex than doing dishes.
Oh my god, I prefer performing oral sex than most things in life.
And I assume that, my partner also prefers oral sex than not receiving, like, so I don't, it's a weird sort of gray area where like it almost borders line on manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like teetering on the edge, and the only thing stopping it from being pushed over is the fact that like it is a turn on for her
Mm-hmm.
because she's also receiving something out of it.
That's why I kind of liked this question because like I'm not really sure where I'm at because it's like is it kind of shitty manipulation or is it a fun game? And I guess the fact that he never talked to her about it, you know what I mean? And when she tries to bring it up, he laughs it off and kind of continues with it, makes me feel like it's more on the less good side of things.
Yeah, I think a real like honest conversation where you might have just like sort of press the topic a little bit more, like don't let it be laughed off and be like, hey, just
Mhm.
so you know, it's like I do enjoy this. This is a really fun thing for me, and it does turn me on. But I also want to make sure that like that this isn't a you're not pulling a fast one on me. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
you're not being clever here in the sense that like I'm now at your beck and call because you're some sort of fingering master.
Yeah.
And you might not have to, maybe don't go as aggressive as that, but like bring it
That
up
was
and have
pretty
this.
aggressive. Oh
Yeah,
fuck you! You're not smart. You're not getting me,
yeah.
motherfucker. You're fingering shit anyway.
Um, but you know what I mean? Like have that talk and be like, we need to set some boundaries on this game because
Yeah.
sometimes you need to contribute to this household, and it doesn't necessarily like you said, like my sexual satisfaction doesn't need to rely on you not doing housework.
Exactly. And also, like, the worry I have is that it gets to a point where he's like, oh, if you want, like, I'll do the dishes, or I won't do the dishes if you want me to go down on you. And she's like, oh, you know what? Like, just, I've done the dishes all week. Do you mind? And then he's going to do it. And later on, he's going to be like, oh, you want me to go down on you? No, I did the dishes, you know?
Yes,
Like,
that's the thing. Is if your previous sex life and habit doesn't change, you know what I mean? If that doesn't bleed into it, I think you might be okay. But like you said, if you say no to the offer and then it's a vindictive the next time you guys have sex without any of this, any
mhm.
pretense, if it's not like, well, I offered and you didn't want it, so
Yeah. I also think, like, maybe you shouldn't, like, by all means, have this fun game, but maybe have it with lower stakes things than chores. You know
yes.
what I mean? Because, like, dishes, like, they suck. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things that everyone has to do. And if you're the only one doing dishes or you have to do that to get, like, someone to go down on you, you're going to get pretty bitter. And if, like, it's a big enough thing. I know it sounds dumb, but like dishes and housework, like they're big things. So if you kind of played that game with something lower stakes, I think it will be better. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like it could be something a little more like making dinner,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean, like
Or
things
like I'll
that
grab you a beer from the fridge, or like
exactly.
something
Yes,
that's like less like a lower effort. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I think what you should like, I think you should turn the game on him
Hmm.
because like, what dude's gonna be like if she was like, oh, okay, I see your fingering, and I'm gonna raise you a blowjob, take the garbage out.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like if this becomes a fun like, okay, I see your blowjob, I'll give you this. Like that could be fun too. And at least
And
you're
eventually,
a
you guys will
participant.
just fuck and live in
Yeah,
filth.
yeah, exactly. And
Just
then you'll just
let it pile
become
up.
the garbage sex
Little
couple.
Yeah, little trash
Oh,
gremlins, little sexy
don't
trash
go near that
gremlins.
apartment. Please don't go near that apartment. You will only smell semen and trash.
They jerk it and take pictures, and in the background, there's just trash everywhere.
Yeah, I think you do need to evaluate your feelings on it and be like, okay, if you're feeling manipulated and if you're feeling taken advantage of, then you need to put an end to it. If you can find a way to turn this into a consensual, mutual, beneficial game, there's no problem with that.
Yeah, I think
Especially like if you are finding a discrepancy in how often you want sex. If this is raising his libido with this game, then this is, like I said, this could be a creative solution as long as you're feeling safe and healthy about it.
yeah, like if you don't mind, whatever. But it seems like you mind because you posted it online. And on top of it, you just really gotta like realize that like getting into this pattern may cause problems later on if you're not really clear about your boundaries now.
Yeah.
Especially like later on, if the one time you don't want to go down, he's bitter about having to do the. So just be careful. Have a chat. Be open. Communication.
Yeah.
All right, hit me.
Okay.
Oh,
This comes from this comes from a dear listener. It's a new question, but there or yeah, the first time question asker. So agent name I'm going to give them is Regal.
Ooh.
Agent Regal. I live in London, but right now I'm stuck in Turkey because of the current unpleasantness. There are no flights at the moment. I used to have Hinge in London, didn't delete my profile when I came back home. Anyway, I started text with an Irish guy. I mean, that's your first
Yeah,
mistake. I
that's your
text with
first. You don't need our advice. You did it.
We were texting every day, exchanging pictures, appropriate pictures. He was telling me he was
Jerking
really
it and
excited
taking
to see
pictures.
me. Yeah. He was telling me he was really excited to see me, blah, blah. He seemed really nice or really, really interested. And I felt like this might actually work because I felt connected. We were getting along very well. However, he's not texting me anymore. And I definitely don't want to text because I think he's not that into me anymore. It's been 3 days that he has not texted. I know I need to move on and not be frustrated, but it's hard to do so when in quarantine. I'm also angry at myself that I put many emotions into this already because we haven't even seen each other. I've been listening to you for a long time now. Thank you. And I thought it might be good to get an advice on how to move forward.
All right.
No, they've been texting for 2 months. He asked my number and continued on with WhatsApp. He also told me that he deleted the app and sent me pictures of every page of his home screen. Anyway, am I exaggerating that he hasn't texted me for 3 days? If he texts me again, how should I treat him?
Firstly, kind of strange move to send that like home screen
Yeah, because like
thing.
it doesn't prove anything.
No, not at all. Also, that's trying like almost too hard.
I've
That's
never
honestly
understood that move because I know, like, talking to a lot of my female friends, they've
Mhm.
always been like, "Oh yeah, he deleted Tinder for me." It's like, well,
Yeah.
okay, but like, cool, I guess. Like, what's the, like? You just met him.
Yeah,
He just met you.
I would never say that to someone. And like,
Yeah, even if you
yeah,
were putting all your eggs in a basket, I wouldn't tell someone that.
no, it's kind of weird. It's like there's no point deleting it until you're at the point where deleting it is like makes sense. Like if you're dating, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
I don't know. So that's my only red flag, really.
yeah,
3 days isn't crazy. Like you never know what's going on. Um, and like there's nothing wrong with sending another message and just being like, "Hey, haven't heard from you in a while." Especially when you're a girl. I know it's kind of like it sucks, but that's how it is. Like if you're a guy and you send those messages, you can definitely be seen as more like predatory and like annoying and shit. I think if you're a girl,
yeah,
like no one's gonna be upset. No one's gonna be like, look at this creep. It's gonna be totally fine. So I
yeah. I
wouldn't
mean,
worry
like
about that.
the only real like risk is maybe that like after that text remorse where you're like, ah, shouldn't have texted him. But at that point, it's like it doesn't like that's a social construct as well that we've kind of like ingrained in people that like caring about people and trying to pursue a relationship isn't a
Mm-hmm.
weakness and it isn't a
No, not at
flaw.
all.
It isn't like something to be ashamed of. If you like this guy, there's no harm in putting in an effort to
Yeah,
make sure that like he's okay or that like something hasn't distracted him or one of those things where he thought he replied and he's
yeah,
upset that you haven't like any number of those things. Maybe someone in his family, I don't want to put bad vibes out there, but maybe they got sick or like anything could have happened.
yeah. No, 100%. Even like just isolation in general does weird things to people. So it's like maybe he's just having a fucking bad time right now, you know? And he just kind of like put his phone away and is trying to like, you know, do more positive shit. Like you never really know. But like I do not think there is anything to lose. Because worst case, you're back where you are right now, which and
Yeah,
probably with I don't even think you can end up back where you are right now. Because if you do it, you will have a little bit more closure. You know what I mean? Because you'll know you at least tried. So there won't
that's
be
the
that
thing.
niggling like, oh, should I, you know, you'll have done it. I will say, don't send them anything like passive aggressive, like, oh, hey, they're silent, or like, oh, you've been you know,
Yeah,
just be like, hey, haven't heard from you in a while, like, how are things? Or, you know, do it very naturally. Because there's nothing worse than like, and I get it, sometimes you feel a little unhappy and you want to like get a little jab in there. Don't do that. But I 100% think just send them a message because like fuck it, no, nothing to lose.
exactly. And then again, if they don't get back to you, then you can say like no, like well, I've tried, I've done my best, I've tried.
Mhm.
It's in their hands now.
Yeah.
Um, and like if something beyond their control, has happened, either they broke their phone or any of those things. It's like
Mhm.
there's no point obsessing about that kind of stuff because it could be any number of things. He could
Mhm.
be a dirtbag. He could have had, like, you know what I mean? He could have had a girlfriend and got caught. Yeah,
Yeah.
like any number of things
Or
could
like
have
could have
happened.
met someone, you know what I mean? You guys aren't exclusive, so like while it sucks, you know, it could have happened. You could have met someone too. You know, there's so many things that might not even be negative, you know?
Yeah,
Obviously it would be
there's
better to come up and say if anything had happened, you know what I mean? But sometimes there's a weird kind of like you feel like strange doing it when it isn't technically like that you were dating or whatever. It almost feels bizarre to be like, by the way, I met someone by. But either way, this is us just spitballing. We could say anything, you know what I mean? So I say 100% give it a shot. Give him another message. Make it a nice one. If it doesn't happen, I guess like moving on during quarantine is a weird one, you know,
yeah.
because
It's not like you can go back out there. You know what I mean? I mean, like
yeah,
technically
you can
you
just
can get back on Hinge and stuff.
yeah get
It
back on
is
Hinge and
it's
Tinder and shit, or just use the extra space to focus on you know a good positive like personal project.
Yep.
Like get absolutely shredded, write a novel, play some farm simulator,
Shred a novel.
shred a novel, farm some getting,
What?
farm some getting. I don't know. Uh,
um. Yeah, so I think also there's another part. I think it was like, how should I treat him? Like, don't punish people. It's That's what the whole point of this podcast is, to get people away from these like weird games of like punishment and like following rules and
yeah,
texting within a certain amount of days, not texting with, like, all that stuff is such bullshit. Just do what you want to do.
yeah.
If you feel like you'd like to try
Well,
to reestablish
you already
contact,
said you like this
reestablish.
person.
Yeah,
Like we know that, and that's all we need to know because that's all that matters. If you like them, treat them like you like them. You know, there's because getting annoyed or getting bitter or being kind of like silent or like grudging, it's like you have no idea what they're doing or why they haven't written back. So it's like your mind could go to the negative places or it could go somewhere positive. You may as well keep it at least on the positive quadrant. You know what I mean? Just be like, fuck it, something could have happened. I'll see what's going on. If not, you know, I tried. But like, you're
yeah,
never going to get anywhere if you don't kind of take that positive route.
yeah. So don't go into the weird, like, you know, I'm now not going to respond to him, because it doesn't help anything.
Yeah.
And the sort of like, because he's now going to learn that, you know what I mean, like that's a now behavior that he thinks is going to be like a normal part of texting, where he's now going to use that against someone, and then that's how things spiral. That's how like
Mhm.
the old, oh, don't text after 3 days, or like, because it makes
Mhm.
you seem desperate. It's
And
stupid.
for all we
It's
fucking
such an
know,
old shit.
for all we know, he read some bullshit seduction article that was like, or some friend of his was like, wait, you guys are texting all the time? Take a break, bro. You know, like, you never know, but it's always best to at least be genuine and like from your side of things. You know what I mean? Like, if you
Yeah,
know you've done your best, even if they end up not being worth it, it is worth you doing it, right? Like, because if you do anything else, then you might look back and be like, shit, I wish I'd done X, Y, or Z. Like, if you just treat them well and they end up being shitty or not worth your time, that doesn't matter.
yeah,
You don't gain anything by treating someone shitty when you don't know if they're shit or not. You know what I mean? So I say just
yeah.
100% treat it as positively as you can. send them a message and just, see what happens. And hopefully it's good things.
Yep.
And if not, we're sorry, but you are awesome. So their loss.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'm going to do a 2-part question here.
Okay.
As in, one question is just going to be a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Right? And then I'm going to launch into my real question because I really don't think we can have a little conversation about it if you want. We'll see.
Well, let's just see what happens.
This is by PM Me Your Pickup Lines 9. Is it worthwhile to talk to women who are taken? Is there value in building relationships with women who are already in relationships?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Have you heard this concept called friends?
Yeah. Have you heard this concept that women are human beings and not just receptacles to stick your dick into?
Whoa, wait, what?
I know.
Yeah. I saw that question and I wanted to just die a little.
Is that from Seduction?
Oh, you know it is. You don't want to see the fucking answers.
Of course I don't.
This is by Superhuman345. I walked in on the girl I was casually seeing, giving a blowjob to another guy. So I've been seeing this girl, both in college, sleeping with her, going to dinner, talking every day. Thought we were kind of casually, but exclusively seeing each other. That's what she'd implied many times to me. The way we were was really intimate. She said I made her really happy, and she missed me when I wasn't there. Thought I'd go surprise her because I was back from uni. We go to separate ones. Opened the door to her room after being let in by our housemates, and she was sucking another dude off. I know I don't have any right to her because we weren't official, but this wasn't what I thought was happening, and it's hit me quite hard. Freaked me out because I don't know if she's been seeing him the whole time, and I was enjoying my time with her because I thought it was something special. It's really freaked me out. She hasn't apologized or anything. She actually blamed me for the way I read things, but it's really upset me. She says she wants to keep seeing me. I don't know if I can keep seeing her after this. Honestly, I thought she was different. How do I deal with this?
Oh, God, there's so much.
I know.
There's so much to unpack here. So, this sucks that this happened. It's no matter what you have in your mind, it's hard to get that mental image out of your head, and I get it. As someone who did the casual sex things, like if I walked in, I was fine with all of my partners sleeping with other people, and like some of the times we've actually talked about their partners or sexual experience, and like that was fine. But I think it would be very different if I had walked in on them doing something.
Yeah, 100%. So, okay, like first thing, because there, as you said, there's a lot to unpack here. So we can understand a good portion of why he didn't enjoy seeing that. Totally understandable. I can let you go before I jump in with my thoughts.
Okay. I thought you were going to go through like point by point.
Well, there's so much. Okay, fine. Yeah. The thing I want to do, the fucking roommates. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, there's no way you didn't know that she had a dude.
100%. Also, even if she didn't, you don't let a dude come in and surprise her like that. She could be fucking asleep. She could be like tangled hair, like wearing a shitty old whatever. She could be like masturbating. She could be anything. You know what I mean? She could have
said like, hey, like broke it off with this guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And 100%. He was coming over to like beat her to death. Like,
yeah.
You don't let people, especially men, like I have this thing. So whenever a man asks me when one of my like female coworkers is working next, I always say, I don't know. Even if I know they're like, they might be in the pub upstairs or like coming in 10 minutes. I will not tell them that because I don't know your relation with them. I don't know if you're an ex-boyfriend. I don't know if you're, a stalker from Instagram. I don't know.
I've had people's exes, like dangerous exes who are stalking them, come into work before.
Yeah.
In 2 separate bars. Not the same guy. 2 different fucking occasions, which is worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these roommates fucking suck. And you shouldn't also have done that. Like, that's not okay with you. Surprising her by, like, like you're not at the point where you can surprise people like that.
Not in their personal space. I think, like, if you invited them to your place.
Yeah. Like, surprise, I'm in town.
Or even just, like, if you had, like, a nice dinner. You know what I mean? Prepared or something. Like, if, like, those are the nice surprises. No one wants their, like, personal space encroached on. Like, this isn't a fucking movie.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, showing up at someone's house is an inconvenience. There's a reason no one answers the fucking door anymore. There's a reason no one calls anymore.
Yeah, like, if people don't like getting a fucking call, they definitely don't want you in their room.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like, even if for some reason they were at home pining about you, totally fine with you walking in, they're not ready. They probably don't have deodorant on. You know what I mean? Like, just all these things. Like, use your fucking brain and actually think about people, because, like, I would be pissed off if I was just chilling at home and some girl just showed up, even if I really
Yeah.
liked them.
Oh,
Probably
yeah.
especially if I really like them, because I'd be like, cool, I'm just over here like sweaty as hell because like I'm on the fucking podcast with Dain, just sweating in the sun. Now you're there. I
Yeah.
gotta go shower.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another thing about fuck, I don't remember.
Well, I just go from maybe the top because I
Okay.
can see it. So I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
this is something you pinged, because this sentence is a fucking doozy. I thought we were kind of casually but exclusively seeing each other.
I mean, we can breeze past this because we've talked about it 1,000 times. If you haven't had the talk about being exclusive, you're not exclusive. If you want to be casual, that like those are it doesn't make any sense
until
you
you're
can't have a
exclusive.
casual
You're not exclusive.
like
No.
there's no such thing as a casual exclusive relationship.
No, that's
because
what, like,
as soon as you're exclusive, you're in a relationship, and that is the opposite of being casual. Casual is sort of loosey goosey. You do whatever you want. You come and go. You sleep with whoever you want. Cool, or whatever the parameters of the relationship is. But the second you tag on exclusive, that's dating. You're dating. That's not a casual thing anymore.
I had a girl who wanted to sleep with me, but wanted me to promise I wouldn't hook up with other people while we were. And I was like, well, I don't date people like when I just meet them. You know what I mean? Because for me, like, relationships are pretty important. So, you know, no. And she's like, we're not going to be dating. We're just going to not be sleeping with other people. I'm like, what's the fucking difference?
Yeah, there's no difference. And like there might be some sort of like, you know, nuanced things that you feel are difference between a relationship. But like
you're pretty much lying to yourself at that point. You want the best of both worlds without, like,
I think
it's trying to eat your cake and have it.
It comes from like the social norm of women can't have casual sex. You know what I mean? Like,
I also think some people are just like, they really hate the thought of someone else sleeping with someone. Like, they have this fear of you sleeping with other people, but they also have this fear of intimacy. So it's like they don't want to be in that scary place where you're like exclusive. They just don't want the icky thoughts of you getting with other people. But it's like, I'm sorry, you can't have it both ways. Anyway,
like I said, we've talked about this ad nauseum.
If you're not exclusive, you're not exclusive. You know? Okay, one thing that stuck out to me was we were intimate. She said I was really happy and missed me when I wasn't there. I thought it was something special. Just because she's fucking blew a dude when you guys are not exclusive does not mean any of those things are untrue.
Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive.
No. Just because you could totally have a good time. You could totally really like each other, have really good times, miss each other, have something special. And even at the end says, honestly, I thought she was different. What the fuck does that mean? So like that's why I don't like this question, because this person is coming out from this really twisted mindset where they're kind of admitting that they're not exclusive, and they're saying, I don't blame her, I don't have any right to her, but then they're also twisting all the things she's done now and being like, well, she wouldn't have done this, she wouldn't have done this. You guys weren't exclusive, so she's allowed to do what she did, and just because she's seeing other people doesn't mean those things that from before weren't true at all. Like, how does that invalidate that?
Yeah, and like the phrase "I thought she was different" implies that like it goes back to sort of that like societal expectation that women who sleep around are worth less than women who don't. Like that's really what he's saying is, oh, I thought she was different. I thought
she was better.
Yeah, right. Like that's essentially what he's saying. I thought she was better than this, but it's like she's doing exactly what she's doing with you, but just with another dude. So like,
and also exactly what she's allowed to do, because
if you're putting weight on your relationship and what you're doing, there's no difference. Like, there's no saying that this guy doesn't feel the same way about her and she doesn't feel the same way about this other guy. So like to say that your thing is special, as he put it, doesn't make it any less special than what she might have with him.
Exactly.
Or it doesn't make it any less special because she has anything with this other guy. But again, like I said, he's pissed that, and like you put it well, he's translating different to better. And he's saying that, like, I thought I was worth more, or you know, like my relationship should be worth more than what she wants because I expect her to be the way, you know what I mean? Like sort of my exclusive property without actually having to say it.
Yeah. So, like, in this case, he fucked up by showing up because that's not cool. The roommates
Yep.
are just completely assholes, but that's a whole different issue. So, he fucked up by showing up, straight up on him. He fucked up by reading into their situation. You're exclusive or you're not. There is no in between. So, I'm sorry, bud. You fucked up that way. Totally understandable to be upset walking in on that, right? Like, I'm not
Yeah,
saying that's not the case, like 100%.
of
But
course.
one, it doesn't invalidate any of the good stuff you had with her because you guys are not fucking exclusive. And secondly, you can't then turn this on her. You know,
Yeah,
your self esteem is hurt, and that's fine. That's a pretty rational or
of
pretty
course.
reasonable response for this. But you need to look at whether it's okay for you to feel that and whether it's okay for you to take it out on her. And I don't think either of them are because she's totally entitled to see other people because you guys are not exclusive. So don't make this a her issue.
Yeah. I mean, what you need to do is going forward, like if you might, take a second, reflect, feel if you can get over this and keep seeing her. I hope you can, because you know what I mean? Like I hope you can take this as a lesson in jealousy and a lesson in personal space, and a lesson in, discussing relationship boundaries and parameters and respecting them. I hope those are the things you take away from this.
Mhm.
If you can't, then what you need to do going forward is realize that maybe these casual relationships aren't for you.
Yeah.
You know what
And
I mean?
also, even if you can't, please go away from this realizing that she is not the bad guy here.
Yeah, don't carry this baggage and bring it and project it like like the woman whose ex slept with a
Oh,
dude
yeah.
or a girl. You know what I mean? Like I can't remember. And like don't project things that have happened to you or what you've created in your mind onto other people.
Yeah.
Because it's unfair for the next woman you're with to expect them to be blowing dudes behind your back,
Mhm.
especially when they're allowed.
Yeah, it's also unfair on this girl who didn't do anything wrong. I will say
No.
what I love about this question. She hasn't apologized. She actually blamed me for the way I read things, but she says she still wants to keep seeing me. This girl's a boss.
Yeah.
I
She
love that
sounds
she
like exactly the kind of person that I would want to be in one of these relationships with.
Oh, 100%. Like, I love how she knows how things are. She's like, look, I'm not going to apologize. You did read things wrong, but she's also still, from the sounds of it, actually like seeing where his perspective is and just being like, yeah, but I still want to see you. Which arguably means things are special and were good because why the fuck would she want to keep seeing him after an argument like this when you're being casual? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She seems great, so go you.
Yeah.
Also, get new roommates.
Yeah, maybe like advice for her: talk to your roommates about personal space and
Yeah,
not
that's
letting
so fucked.
strange men. I mean, presumably her roommates know this guy.
But
If they've,
even so, it's like,
but like at least be like, oh hey, let me go get her. Or
yeah,
you know what I mean? If you know she's with someone
you're
else,
like, oh, let me
be
see
like,
here.
hey, sorry, she's busy right now. Or I don't think she's home right now. Sorry.
Yeah. Like, even if I showed up at yours and, like, I didn't really know your roommate, like, let's say, you lived in the place, I wouldn't want them to just be like, yeah, come in. Here's his room. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't just walk in.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This comes from Reddit user Throw RA Queen Me. My boyfriend is
Queemy?
actually Queen Me.
Oh, okay.
My boyfriend and I have been dating for a while now. He's super respectful, sweet, loving, etc. Anyway, due to COVID, we haven't been seeing each other. One night we got drunk and started sexting, and things got hot. I asked him what one of his fantasies was, and he said, having sex with my mom.
Wait, his own mom or her mom?
Her mom.
Slightly better.
I shut it down and went to bed. I feel uncomfortable and I'm debating breaking up with him because now I feel so insecure. He's apologized, but I can't help but to think he may think of her this way. I do not know what to do. Help.
Man, that's a wild thing to say.
Even
Oh.
even in the world where that is a joke, even if you are kidding, why would you say that during like a real serious sexting situation?
I will say that is definitely not in the Ontario guidelines. Oh man, that's a wild thing. You know what? I'm worried that this man is just like he has one of those diseases where he can only tell the truth. He's like, no,
Yeah, he's
shit.
a liar
Oh
himself.
no. Who says that?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's not as sweet and respectful as you think. Maybe he's a terrible liar. And during this virus thing, maybe he got a package from Amazon that he didn't order, and he opened it up, and it's like, oh, look at this crazy orb, and then he touched it,
Mhm.
And now he's got like the spirit of some ancient creature in him that can only tell the truth.
So you
Liar,
gotta
liar,
ask
too.
him. You gotta ask him for his pin code straight off the bat. And if that's true, you'll know he can only tell the truth.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Or ask him a question that nobody knows the answer. No, he could still not know the answer. Damn it! Thought we'd solved something there. That is a wild thing to say. Do you fit in your mom's clothes? This could be good for you guys.
Well, oh boy. I mean, I don't
Hey,
like it.
on the upside, he's gonna like you when you're old as shit.
That's true.
Maybe more than now.
So here's my thing: is he apologized, but he didn't say it wasn't true.
Yeah, well, I think we all know it's true.
I mean, there's a difference between being like, "Yeah, your mom's a babe," and "Yeah, I want to fuck your mom." Like
So there's also
my
a difference
my deep
between like I will actively fuck your mom and like I think it would be hot to. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure a lot of people have like, you know, I'm trying to think something like a teacher fetish or something where it's like they probably don't think they can actively sleep with their teacher, but like it would be hot if it happened, you know, or something
yeah.
like that. So like I can't take it seriously. I'm trying to argue because like in one sense it's like any worry that I would have about this person would be completely taken away by the fact that this person clearly cannot lie very well. So it's like the threat is gone. I don't think he's
And
ever going to do it because he's too honest to sleep with your mom. And I also think it's kind of endearing that he was so honest that he told you. I also think it's fucking insane that he would ever say those words to you.
yeah, but like now Christmas dinner, like that's not a dinner table I want to be at. I mean, that's a dinner table me personally I want to be at. But
Yeah,
like
as no
someone who,
party involved.
yeah, but as a person who's dating this guy, I don't want to be there. Well, like every time you look at my mom, or every time you're like, "Oh, thanks, Miss Williams," and you're like,
Is her
"Wait,
mom
what does
still
that mean?"
alive? Because
God,
this
I
could be
don't want
even
to
more.
even get. I don't want to go down that
It could
road.
be. It could be so. That's why. Maybe that's why it's so upsetting.
I like. Yeah, I can't imagine sexting with someone and then they just throw a fucking wrench
That's
this
a
hard.
wild move, man. What would like?
Um,
What did he expect her to do?
I mean, if there's drunk, like they did say they got drunk. So if he was like
But
fucking hammed
still,
and it came out, I don't know, man. Like yeah, I don't know what like if someone asked me like, oh, what's your fantasy? And I know they're talking about what they can do for me. I wouldn't be like, hey, I want to fuck your mom.
yeah. Can you go get her? Can you get
Because
her?
like, let me tell you, there's no realm in which I think that person is going to respond with, "Yeah, okay, let me get her on the phone." It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Let me act stern. Yeah.
Um,
That's. Let me
it'd
spank
be
myself. Maybe
it'd
it
be
was a
different,
roundabout way for him to get her to spank herself.
maybe, but like it'd be different if like he was like, "Ah, I'm into older women," or "I want you to sort of like I
Even
got
then,
like a
not much
weird
you could
mom
do.
fetish." I don't like. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
Like,
know.
pretend you like. I don't know. That's a wild fucking thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is even if it's true, even and I presume it is
Okay,
that you
if
want to
okay
fuck your
for
girlfriend's
people out
mom
there,
or any.
if it is true, don't ever say that to them. In fact,
Yeah,
don't say it to most people.
that is a secret you keep to yourself.
Yeah,
If you're
that's an inside thought.
yeah, and it's look, it's happened. You
Yeah,
know, I'm
there's nothing
this
necessarily wrong with being like, damn, she hot, or being like, ooh, it'll be so naughty and whatever. Sure, whatever. There's weird porn out there. There's stuff. If you have had that fleeting thought, or even if you actually think it, if you're not actively pursuing her mom and you're not telling her while you guys are fucking Skype sexing that you kind of want her to pretend to be her mom, I guess, then it's probably fine. If you do those things, though, not okay.
not okay. Yeah, I read that and I was just like, ah, well. So my advice to you is have a conversation with your boyfriend. Be like, you understand those like you've crossed a massive boundary here, and then I don't know. I think I would probably have to end the relationship.
See,
Dep-
I
Depending on
yeah.
how long the relationship is and how much I'm invested in it, but like I would have a very hard time. One because my dad is, if I was dating a girl, someone was like, "I want to fuck your dad," I'd be like, "Really?"
Your dad is awesome though.
I mean, my dad's awesome. I love the man. He's a great guy. Sex symbol.
We don't need to talk about how sexy your dad is. Yeah,
Don't
like
we?
see, the weird thing is, it's like part of me is, oh, hey, go for it. How sexy is your dad, Dane?
I'm not.
Describe him in
No.
excruciating detail. No. I initially was like, it seems like a bit much to break up with someone for. Initially, like it doesn't seem like a break-upable offense. But on the other hand, it doesn't seem like it's a continue with this relationship offense either. Like, I don't know how you get to the point where you're like, that's okay. It's a weird one, Dane. You've thrown me for a loop. I will tell you that.
Yeah. I feel like you definitely have to be like, you understand this is a problem, right? And then maybe give them a hard ban on family events. Be like, sorry,
Hard
my
bang
mom's
on
around.
family events? Dressed as your mom?
It's like, sorry, my mom's going to be there. I'm
Thing
sorry,
is,
Craig,
though,
but you can't come.
if it's any relationship worth saving, it's probably the kind you bring home to your family. So it's probably not going to be possible.
I mean, I assume he's already, like, he knows her, like, he's met her mom, so I assume they've already
Man,
met.
is it better or worse if he has or hasn't met her mom? Like, what if he's just creeped her mom on Facebook and they've actually never met? I think that makes it worse. I think it makes it worse.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, how do you explain that breakup? Be like, oh, honey, I'm sorry. What happened?
What happened? Just like, shut the fuck up, mom. You shut your goddamn mouth. You know,
you slut.
You know what you did. Oh, man.
Walking around in those high-waisted jeans.
Lounging on that couch reading the newspaper. Drinking tea twice daily.
That Northern Reflection sweatshirt that you've had for 14 years.
With your inability to understand the internets.
Your airbrush t-shirts of our dead pets.
Oh, no. All right,
hit me.
Oh, man. You know what? Just like that question, my next two questions are keeping it in the family. This is by ThrowRA XL2. I don't want to take part in my girlfriend, 23-year-old female's, sex ritual on our wedding night, but I still want to marry her.
Okay.
So
I'm in it.
So I'm a 23-year-old male, getting married to my girlfriend, 23-year-old female, early next year if all goes to plan. Don't have a lot of family. I've no contact with my dad for several years now. She, however, has a huge extended family. For the most part, we get on great. They tend to be loud and have huge personalities, which is sometimes hard for me to deal with since I've always been on the quiet side. Overall, warm and caring people. Something weird I've noticed since we got engaged is my girlfriend's cousins sometimes make jokes about our wedding night. It's weird for them to joke about since I'm pretty sure her family is aware we've slept together before since we share a bed at holiday gatherings and vacations. A few nights ago, we were discussing wedding plans and thinking about places to go on our honeymoon if COVID clears up. My girlfriend and I were brainstorming ideas when she tells me we won't need a bridal suite right away. Obviously, I ask why. We're getting married at a pretty nice hotel, and she says she'd like for us to stay at her parents' house. I don't really mind this. We're trying to save money for a house deposit anyway, but girlfriend seems like she has more to say, so I push for why she wants it. She tells me there's a really old tradition in her family on the wedding night. Husband and wife go into the master bedroom together, and they are supposed to consummate their marriage. The rest of the family wait outside the door to applaud them and cheer when they come out. And that piece of the bed sheet is cut off, sewn into a big tapestry my girlfriend's mother owns. I think my girlfriend saw I wasn't happy, quickly told me you didn't actually have to consummate the marriage if I felt uncomfortable, and could just pretend. I don't want anything to do with this. I freaked and told her under no circumstances will I be doing that kind of thing in front of her whole family. I came back from taking a walk to clear my head. She was noticeably down, and still is. I think she's been texting her family about it because I received a text from her mother telling me I don't understand the importance of family and tradition yet, and this tradition has been around longer than I've been alive. I don't know how I'm meant to go on from here. I love my girlfriend. She's the woman I want to spend my life with. I'm freaked out, of course, but she is my whole world. How should I handle her family and navigate this tradition?
Oh, boy. So the only thing I can think of right now is that there have been countless people in his position who have been like, yeah, no, this is all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, let's do it.
Well, I guess.
Fucking
right. Can we just throw out the obvious, like, this seems like a movie where the whole family murders him?
There's currently a movie right now where I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the ritual is newlyweds go to their like family estate and
the one that came out like a year ago?
Yeah, she has to survive the night.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good movie.
But
yeah, so it sounds exactly like that.
This is a Jordan Peele movie.
100%.
Like Without a doubt. Like, if you guys are an interracial couple,
Oh my
like,
god. Yeah, and also I'm pretty sure
my
even
dude, you're in
in
bad news.
in Get Out, it's like the one girl has the big extended family, and the one guy like doesn't even have family, and that's kind of why he was chosen. Because like, oh, spoiler, never mind. But like, because no one will come looking for him. So like, you don't have family, bud. They're definitely gonna
Yeah.
kill you.
Yeah, this is a horror movie. How do you not know this is a horror movie?
Yeah, like this is. Oh man, I love how he's like, oh, this seems awkward. It's like, no, it seems murder. It seems like
Yeah.
murder. She's like, oh, we
Yeah.
don't need to waste money on this. Why? Oh, you'll be dead.
Because you'll be dead. Don't worry
Also,
about it.
big dirty sex tapestry his mom crafts. That's a little weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder how they choose the square. Is it the wettest square?
or the driest.
Yeah.
Do they wait for it to dry and like pick the one with the nicest like cum stain?
If someone walks into that room once you're done fucking with a black light, you're in trouble.
It's too late. No, honestly, if they walk in with a black light, you've survived. You've done well. They have to like analyze.
No, that's for the blood
patterns.
cleanup afterwards.
Oh, true.
Make sure they get everything out.
Like, what the sweet fuck, guys?
There's only one way out of this. And that is to make up your own crazier sex ritual that has precedent over theirs.
That's why you got upset, is because, funnily enough, you have your own sex ritual. Shit! On the night of the wedding! Oh, you won't have time to do them both, because one is in Malta.
Yeah.
You gotta go to Malta right after the wedding.
We have to be nowhere near the family.
Yeah, one has to be somewhere cool and non-murdery. Shit! And it involves good things that don't include also murder or a weird sex blanket your mom is making.
Yeah. Man, I have the weirdest thing where it's like after we get married and we consummate our marriage, I don't get killed.
Yeah.
It's just this really long line of things that happens in my family when we get married. It's just a ritual we have. And like, if you can't understand that, you don't really understand the importance of family.
And like, look, I know it sucks. You're not going to get to make a bigger sticky blanket, but on the other side of things, we will survive.
We can mail them. Like, you can fuck on that bed and cut off a square yourself and be like, hey, add it to the tapestry, baby.
I've always wanted to fuck your mom. If you want me to come on something and send it to her, I'm down. I'll come on whatever you want. I will mail it straight to her.
You know what? Like, double down and be like, sorry, my family has a very similar thing, but they're in the room and they participate.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna need a family orgy here. If this is what you want,
okay,
like,
I'm sorry. You think these fucking sex ritual ass family isn't going to be like, oh, thank God. You know, it's going to like. This is when someone's like, oh, hey, you two girls should come back to mine. And that's the precursor to them trying to have a threesome. This like sex ritual with everyone lying in wait outside, that's definitely precursor to them being like, oh, what? Oh, they sound so lonely out there. Let's just let them in.
Yeah. Oh no, the door cracked open a bit. Well, now that you've seen everything, get on in here.
I forgot to tell you the master bedroom is a Perspex cube. Oh, it's awkward, but they can see right up your butthole. Right up it. Don't mind Cousin Tim. He's just jerking it and taking a picture. Ontario government told him to.
Yeah, the government says we have to.
Oh, man. I think, honestly, yours is the best. Alternate sex ritual. I mean, like, I got really upset because I was meant to surprise you, but we also have a sex ritual. Sorry. And then make sure, before you do this, that their whole... Also, like... Okay, now let me finish my thought first. You know the way they're like, it's a really old tradition, older than when you've been alive. Find out how old, and then be like, oh, that sucks, because mine is 15 years older than that, so I guess you're right. We should go with the oldest thing, which is my fucked up sex ritual. But also, how weird is it that the moms texting are like, oh, you don't understand family.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, like, you want my cum. You want my cum on your blanket. That's weird, Mom.
Yeah. Be like, yeah, my sex ritual is you have to take an apple from a snake and ruin all of mankind. That's our sex ritual. So it's been around since Adam and Eve. So
yeah, that's pretty much the oldest one. Then one of my brothers stabs the other one shortly after.
That's gonna do us for today, friends. Thank you very much for listening to our sex and dating podcast. If you have a question that you would like to send to us and have us answer, or if you're thinking about telling any of your family members about or any of your partners about fucking their family members,
Mm-hmm.
send us a question first. Ask us if it's okay first. You can reach out to us on Facebook at FCK Buddies Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at FCK_Buddies. You can hit us up online at fbuddiespodcast.com or plentyofbeef.ca. Or you can find us, or you can email us at fbuddiespodcast@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities for their song Paper Stars. And I would also like to say, we could be preventative advice too. It doesn't always have to be like, I said this bad thing to that one-legged girl. It can be like, should I say this to that one-legged girl? We'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm considering this. You know what? That's probably even the safest thing to do, is because you'll have a week to wait to mull it over, and then you'll have our professional advice. And so you're going in with like all kinds of reflection, all kinds of time, unless it's time sensitive.
If it's time sensitive, we can even reply and we'll still put the question on the podcast.
That's true. We can do that too. So if you send us a message and you're like, hey, so my girlfriend's family is outside after we've just had sex trying to murder me, what do I do?
Which part of the blanket do I cut up?
At that point, maybe call 911 and not us, because although, let's be real, the fucking sheriff's office, and I know this is a time as a sheriff, is part of the whole thing. So, I mean,
just call us. Just call us.
Just call us. We'll be there. We'll get there as fast as we can.
We'll skateboard right there. Yeah. Don't ever discount the fact that life can be a horror movie. That's how people get in horror movies.
I'm sorry. Have you paid attention to 2020?
Yeah, life is a horror movie.
There's no reason to not assume that everything is a horror movie now. Everything.
We now have alligators climbing fences. We have fucking like rodents getting angry that we're not feeding them anymore. Who knew that was a deal? I didn't.
Yeah, we're in a dangerous time, boys and girls, and everyone in between.
Yeah, I feel like
everything is a horror movie.
Every week we have a new thing to point at, which is wild. Like, we should be still running on our like murder hornet fuel.
Murder hornets are a joke. Yeah. We want murder. We want more murder.
We want them back.
Exchange. Yeah, give them back. Bring them over.
I can kick a fucking murder hornet right in its face. I can't kick an alligator. I'll lose my fucking leg.
Yeah, as it's climbing at my man-made fences.
Yeah, they can do parkour now.
Okay. Do you have some bad sex rating for us?
I have some news. You know Dan?
Oh, no.
He's still gone.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. So, I found a online repository. I just found an online pile of erotic poetry. So this is by Dain. It's poems by Dain. Dain C. So Dain C, I'm just going to scroll. This is a long-ass document. This is page 9 of 21. I'm just going to read. She's bathed in the deep dream mist of sleep, the dream mist of sleep of what doth dream she me or he, that poet lusts as she cunts fumes wafts, and the sighs of she perfume, the breeze perfume, the airs that circle through the cunt hairs, of where she lies open on that lily bed of little death, that lily bed of fragrant breath, lies there upon passion flowers, soaked in the scented squirt of she, opened at a page much loved by she, kissed by those cunt lips, that page that rubbed she upon those lily lips. Why is everyone rubbing their fucking vagina on pages?
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta. That's what good literature does, Niall.
Just gets you just want to soak it up? Soak it in? Let me begin? Yeah. Thank you, Dain.
Can you do it this time with a little bit more like beat poetry?
Like spoken word?
Yeah.
She is bathed in the deep dream mist of sleep. The dream mist of sleep of. What doth she dream? She me? Or he that poet lusts? She as cunt fumes waft and the sighs of she perfume. The breeze. Perfume. The airs. That circle through. The cunt hairs of she. Where lies, open, upon that lily bed of little death, that lily bed of fragrant breath, lies there, a palm passion flower soaked in the scented squirt of she. Opened at a page much loved by she, kissed by those cunt lips, kissed by those cunt lips, that page that rubbed she upon those lily lips. She.
From now on, anything that you read from this site has to be read in that tone. Or like in that. I want that. I don't want this fucking you just reading it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I want to feel it.
I'm sorry.
That's how poetry is meant to be done. Speaking of poetry, I'm going to finish this off with a comment from Big Boy Ballsack. Oh. He says, "Don't worry, guys. big boy ballsack here. Everything's gonna be okay.
Oh, thank God he saved us from that sex ritual.
My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm now Spain.
And we've been your fuck buddies.
Jerk it and take a picture.
You jerk it and take a picture.